Welcome to the Alp English Podcast. My name is Yuna.
And my name is Jin. Today we're talking about one of the most famous series from South Korea, Squid Game.
Imagine a group of adults playing simple children's games, but if they lose, they don't just go home, they die.
Squid Game is very popular, but it is also very violent. So this episode is for older teenagers and adults who are okay hearing about dark topics in English. We will not describe bloody details, and we do not support violence. We want to talk about the story, the characters, and the ideas behind the show.
This episode is for B1, B2 level learners. We'll speak at a natural but clear speed, so you can practice listening and learn some vocabulary. Let's begin.
First, some basic facts. Squid Game is a Korean TV series that came out on Netflix in 2021. It was created and directed by Hwang Dong-hyuk. The story is set in South Korea, mostly in a secret place where a deadly game happens.
The main character is a man named Gi-hun. He is in his 40s, he is divorced, he has gambling problems, and he owes a lot of money to many people. At the beginning of the series, his life is a mess. He lives with his mother, he has trouble seeing his daughter, and people are angry at him because he cannot pay his debts.
One day, Gi-hun meets a mysterious man in the subway. The man asks him to play a simple game with paper squares. If he wins, he gets money. If he loses, the man slaps him in the face. After some time, Gi-hun wins a few times and gets some money. Then the man gives him a card with a phone number and says, "If you want to play more games for a lot of money, call this number."
Gi-hun is desperate, so he calls. Soon, a van comes. He gets inside, and he is taken, with many other people, to a secret location. When he wakes up, he is in a big room with 456 players. Everyone is wearing a green tracksuit with a number. Gi-hun is player 456.
The other players also have big money problems. They are in debt or in trouble with the law, or they feel they have no hope in normal society. Masked guards in pink suits explain the rules. They will play a series of children's games. People who win can move to the next round. People who lose or break the rules, they are eliminated. At first, the players don't understand what eliminated really means. The first game is red light, green light. This is a real game that many children play. The players must move when the doll says green light and stop when it says red light.
But in Squid Game, if you move during red light, you are shot by hidden guns. Many players die in the first game. The survivors are shocked and terrified. They now understand this is a deadly competition. However, there is also a huge prize. If one player wins all the games, they get a giant amount of money in a big glass ball above the sleeping room. So, the players must decide, leave now and stay poor, or stay and risk their lives for a chance to be rich.
We meet several important characters among the players. There is Gi-hun, player 456, a good-hearted but weak man who often makes bad choices. There is Cho Sang-woo, player 218, Gi-hun's old friend who was good at school and went to a top university, but later did financial crimes and is now also in huge debt.
We also meet Kang Sae-byeok, player 067, a young woman from North Korea who escaped to the South and is trying to get money to bring her family to safety. There is Ali, a migrant worker from Pakistan, and Oh Ilnam, player 001, an old man with a brain tumor. Each of them has their own reasons to stay in the game.
We won't describe every game in detail, but some of them are sugar honeycomb, where players must cut a shape from a thin piece of candy without breaking it. A game with marbles, where players play against their chosen partner. A game on a glass bridge, where some glass panels are strong and some will break if you step on them. And finally, the last game, called Squid Game, which is a traditional Korean playground game.
In each game, people must use not only physical strength, but also intelligence, strategy, and sometimes betrayal. The show is very intense and emotional. Characters you like can die suddenly. Friends can become enemies when they want to survive. This can be hard to watch, but it also keeps the audience interested and worried.
Let's talk about some themes of Squid Game. The first big theme is money and inequality. All players in the game are deeply in debt. In their normal life, they feel trapped. They see no way to escape their problems. The show asks, if society gives you no chance, what are you ready to do for money and a better life?
Another theme is human nature. In the games, people sometimes show great kindness and sometimes great cruelty. For example, Gi-hun often tries to help others, even when it is dangerous for him. Sang-woo, who was once a good student and friend, becomes more and more cold and ready to hurt others to survive. Squid Game shows that people have both sides, good and bad, and that extreme situations can change them.
There is also a theme of rich versus poor. Later in the show, we learn that some rich people watch the games for fun. They treat the players like toys or like animals in a race. This is a criticism of how some societies allow rich people to play with the lives of the poor.
The show also shows how a game can make people forget real moral rules. Inside the game, killing another player sometimes feels normal or necessary, but outside, it would of course be a serious crime. So the show makes us think about systems that change our ideas of what is normal.
Now, let's explain some useful words. Debt, money that you owe someone and must pay back. Betrayal, when a friend or partner hurts you or breaks your trust. Inequality, an unfair situation where some people have much more money or power than others. Survive, to stay alive in a dangerous situation. Desperate, feeling there is no hope, ready to do anything. You can pause now and repeat these words out loud to practice your pronunciation.
You should also talk about the style of Squid Game. The visual style is very strong. The game rooms have bright colors like pink stairs and green uniforms, which look almost like a children's playground. But this colorful look contrasts with the dark violence of the games. This makes the show feel even more strange and shocking.
The music and sound design also help. Children's songs and simple game sounds mix with serious, dramatic music. This makes you feel that something is wrong, even when people are playing simple games.
Why did Squid Game become so popular worldwide? First, streaming platforms like Netflix made it easy for people in many countries to watch Korean shows with subtitles. Second, the story is very universal. People in many countries understand problems of debt, inequality, and pressure to succeed. Third, the design of the show, the masks, the colors, the games, is very memorable. It is easy to create memes, costumes, and parodies from it.
However, it is important to remember that Squid Game shows a lot of violence and emotional pain. Some people should not watch it if they are sensitive to these things. If you do watch it, it can be interesting to focus on the message, not only on the shocking scenes.
Let's do a short review. Squid Game is a Korean TV series about 456 people in debt who join a deadly set of children's games for a huge cash prize.
We followed the main character, Seong Gi-hun, and met other players like Sang-woo, Sae-byeok, Ali, and the old man Il-nam. We talked about themes like money and inequality, good and bad sides of human nature, and rich people using the poor for entertainment.
We learned vocabulary like debt, betrayal, inequality, survive, and desperate.
If you are learning English at B1, B2 level, you can listen again, pause when you need, and write down new words or expressions. Here are some questions for you. If you were in a situation like the players in Squid Game, what would you do? Do you think any amount of money is worth risking your life?
You can write your answers in a notebook or say them out loud to practice speaking.
Thank you for listening to the Alp English Podcast.
I'm Yuna.
And I'm Jin.
See you in the next episode.